Good evening, guys, and welcome to the Go Fish Weekly Wrap-Up live here from the Umthunzi Hotel and Conference Centre down in Port Shepstone, the 20 area. So big thanks to Ryan Ringo and Cornell and the rest of their team for hosting us here tonight and for tonight's live stream. We really appreciate it. If you guys haven't been down to Umthunzi Hotel, then they can take care of all your needs from conferencing and corporate functions, team buildings, all the way through to weddings, and of course fishing competitions and live stream sessions as well. We no stranger to Umthunzi Hotel. Go Fish has been down here quite a few times with their annual kids comp that they have every year. Fantastic event. It's around sort of the May, June time. Kunal, is that correct? And absolutely beautiful comp. It is well worth the trek down here. It's not much of a trek. It's only about 45 minutes from Toti?
Yeah, it was 140 k's from Belito. So, yeah,
100%. And it's literally half a k, not even from the beach. The guys here have got an amazing team, so big thanks to Umthunzi Hotel. Tonight, we've got a couple of really established anglers and skippers with us in the room. We're really looking forward to this session, to tonight's session here on Go Fish Weekly Wrap-Up. We've obviously, as always, got Eddie. Eddie, welcome. Thanks for coming from Belito.
I'll tell you what, it's been an absolute pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
I mean, the facility is something else, chaps, really. You know, the views, the accommodation, the friendliness. Always lovely to come back to this hotel.
100%. And tonight we've got Charles Du Plessis and Faith Lautachan. Guys, thanks so much for coming through and joining us today. We're going to be fishing with Charles and Faith tomorrow, so we really look forward to that. Just to give you a bit of insight into the two people on my right here, Charles Du Plessis is a SADSA accomplished angler and obviously a very accomplished angler that we're going to be fishing with tomorrow, so can't wait for that. He's going to show us a couple of tips and tricks around the Shelley Beach area, targeting big tuna and yellowtail, and hopefully a couple of ambers as well. He's also going to be showing us a bit of kite fishing, which we can't wait to do tomorrow, Charles. Then we've also got 6-time gold medalist SADSA skipper Faith Lautachan with us as well, who is going to be skippering the boat tomorrow. So Faith, we don't often hear of a gold medalist skipper, let alone 6-time gold medalist skipper. So it's you're actually kind of putting us to shame here in the corner here. So we feel very honoured to have you here on the show with us tonight, as well as you, Charles. So thanks very much for coming through and spending some time with us here.
Thank you for having us. It's an honour being here.
No, lekker. All right, so guys, we've got, before we get into the two established guests and esteemed guests here on the Go Fish show tonight, we've got a big deal that Lawrence is going to be announcing tomorrow, being Friday, on their Black Friday deal that they've got coming up. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be sharing that on our Facebook page as well. Some massive deals. They still have the 25% off on their 7-inch TI units that they're doing currently. So make sure you hop onto their website for more information on that. Then Suzuki, as always, breaking ground. Charles is no stranger to the Suzuki motors. We're going to be going into that also shortly. But they've got two technologies at the moment that are unique only to Suzuki. One, the selective rotation system, where the gearbox can turn clockwise or counterclockwise, and the counter-rotational dual prop system on their 350 horsepower. For more information on that, tune in onto their website and catch all the new revelations that Suzuki is bringing, and only unique to Suzuki, into the market currently. Charles, you've got I've noticed two size Suzukis on the back of your boat. How long have you had those for, and how have you found them, eh?
Those are 200s. I've put them on last year, it was about May.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, what a dream. It's a big difference. I used to have Even Roots. Unfortunately, as you all know, that Even Roots gone out of business, and you just can't get space, can't get parts, can't get service, and did the change to Suzuki, and I'm telling you, I'm not, how can I say, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Very light on fuel, very economical. Never had a problem. Service from Suzuki is great.
Yeah.
Give them a call. The guys drive all the way from Durban on a Sunday. Come and do the service for the
Amazing,
motors on a Sunday.
Sure.
I can't complain.
Yeah, I've got to say, the guys from Natal Powerboats, thank you. I mean, they're always there, you know, when I've had to change the props on the motors.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm talking to Charles. I should be talking to the gold medalist. Yeah.
That's the one that runs the boat and sits.
Yeah, I felt she was a bit laggy when I skipped the Nationals last year, November, in Sodwana. I felt, yes, she's sitting down. And so we changed the props from 17 to 19.
Okay.
And I mean, they actually went out of their way to refit the motors, to rebuild the transom, refit the motors, and she's been running beautifully
Awesome.
ever since.
Oh, awesome.
Absolute pleasure to skip.
Oh, it's good to hear. The week's fishing that we've had, I unfortunately haven't been able to fish this week. Had a bit of a knee injury after 36 holes of golf and a couple of too many dogs. Got a bit out of hand there, but we blame it on the golf. Ellie, you had some good fishing over the last couple of days and sort of towards the end of last week and the weekend.
Yeah, Kirk, I said to you, I think on the last stream, you know, the ocean has got to summer. You know, those summer fish are back. You know, and I've done a couple of streams on the Go Fish channel where I think I got 22 fish in an hour. You know, from amberjack to big size bonnies. A lovely GT, unfortunately it came back just the head, and yellow spot kingfish. So, you know, I've done two. I went out again about 2 days ago, but unfortunately the weatherman, I think he had his night off, maybe he was stuck in the bar, because he told me it would be flat.
I saw that.
And I got out there and it was the white
Upside
ball.
down.
It was terrible. It's the earliest I've been back on the beach drinking coffee at 6:45 in the morning. So,
Because it's better than what you're drinking tonight.
the bucktail, the drop shot, slow pitch jigging, really, you know, go find those marks.
Yeah.
You know, look for and like I've always told everyone, guys, you can slow pitch all you want, or drop shot, or bucktail. If you are not on the mark, you're wasting your time. And luckily enough, take the time to drive around, leave your rods, don't touch them, drive around the ocean, look for the mark. The fish with the current sitting on the north bank, south bank, east bank, wherever they might be, find them.
Yeah.
And really, if you don't find them, don't even waste your time, go try something else. And I must say,
on bucktail there?
bucktail,
Yeah.
I think I must have got 16 in a row in bucktail.
Now, just talking on the bucktail quickly, I mean, you specifically use those Spro bucktails.
Spray.
And we know, I mean, you know, just over the years, with regards to Spro's quality and that sort of thing, that hook being set all the way from the eye through the actual lead part of the lure, giving it fantastic balance, as well as it's a strong gamakatsu.
Well, this is actually quite a funny story. So, if you go look on a stream, I think I've labelled it wild fishing on Go Fish probably last Thursday. Last Thursday, I think. So I catch a fish on bait. It screams off, it spools off, but I'm bucktailing.
Yeah.
So I put the bucktail rod in my jet ski, but it's flapping. It's somewhere down there in the ocean. That, Charles, I was telling you, the third time in my life that a circle hook is pulled. Third time. Anyways, that was the third time. So after boxing this fish, it destroyed me. The hook pulled. I fell on my seat. I was bleak. While I was still crying and moaning, in the camera you can see the bucktail rod going. and shunting off. So I put that rod down. I thought, this is lovely. I didn't lose a fish. I got the same one, you know, and I carried on. I lost that fish. So now I'm very, very disappointed. While it's hanging there, I bounce it once or twice. I get hit again. I locked that drag because now I can't lose 3 in a row.
Yeah.
I locked it. There was no drag. I put that stick flat and I winched that fish, and that hook held.
Unreal, man. Unreal.
It held. It was about a 9.6 kg bonnie on 30-pound line with or 30-pound odd leader and a light rod, and that hook still didn't break.
Yeah. No, unbelievable. Unbelievable. I want to get onto the subject of the person on my right here, Faith Latachan, the 6-time gold medalist skipper. Tell us a little bit about that, Faith. Not many people know the ins and outs of achieving such a feat like that. Give us a little bit of history, short history, and sort of how you came to become the skipper that you are today.
a lot of hours on the water, a lot of skipping, a lot of hard days, a lot of lessons learned, incredible sports. Like I said to you earlier today, you know, I can sit here and take credit for all of it, but I really can't. I've been given amazing opportunities and have been shown so much faith in and trust in by anglers, Charles, my mentor, the late Anton Getz, that taught me and you know, put me through my paces, and it's really why I am where I am today. There's times you can say I didn't give up, that I could have given up and say it's, you know, it's tough. It's really tough. It's being a female skipper among the boys is always more of a joke than a.
No, I think yeah. I mean,
I must say the last few years, the journey I've walked, and you know, I have to remain humble, and I want to remain humble, but I'm incredibly proud, and I've got a club that supports me 100%. I've got my best friend sitting to my right that's always there and you know, always knocking on my shoulder and always saying, hey, come, it's you again. So that's my journey. A lot of hours. I've skipped 17 interprovincials. I skipped last year was my 14th national.
Jeez. And you did the world champs as well, then?
Yes, I've been privileged enough to skip for Germany, Angola, and the Proteas. My proudest moments.
Unreal.
I can't even explain it.
Now, when it comes to skipping, a lot of guys. We were chatting earlier about your first proper launch out of Sedona and how nervous you were and how much focus it took and all that. But I mean, from someone that's as accomplished as you are, what sort of advice would you give to guys that that fear the ocean, you know, that fear launching out of you know, sort of into the actual sea, not flat water launches, launching into waves? What sort of advice would you give to them?
Look, how I feel when I go out is you never challenge the ocean. You always negotiate. There's a power in water that cannot be measured, and that's not something you go out there and challenge. You know, you behind that steer, and when there's a gap, it's because she gives you a gap.
Yeah.
You know, and when you commit and you're going, you go.
Yeah.
There's really, at the end of the day, it's like riding a motorcycle. You know, you can sit on an R1 and you can go and kill yourself, or you can go and do 2 amazing laps, you know, around a race course and set up record times because you respect what's underneath.
Yeah, sure.
And it's the same advice I can give to anyone out there, you know, going through surf like we're privileged to do in South Africa. And I say it's a privilege because that's what it is. It's an absolute privilege to be able to be allowed to go out there and go enjoy fishing. You know, going through such a dangerous you know, way of going out.
Yeah, sure, 100%. Something that's quite.
But my advice would be very simple: as you negotiate, you never challenge.
Patience.
When you start challenging, is when you.
Well said.
Yeah,
when you're one of those that's either training to capsize or has capsized.
Yeah, sure, 100%. No, geez, that's amazing. And Faith's going to be taking us out tomorrow. We're going to be in the very capable hands of Faith tomorrow morning, which we can't wait for. And she's also agreed to give us a bit of a full rundown of Shelly Beach launch site, which we are going to be putting into a full video format for you guys to watch in the weeks to come on YouTube and on our Facebook page, which will be awesome. Something that we're going to be starting now with all the launch sites along the KZN coast with various anglers, and Faith's going to be our first to do that for us tomorrow, which we can't wait to do. Charles, we're going to jump straight into it, and Faith, tomorrow, well, just chatting more about Shelly Beach. I've fished here probably once, probably twice, in sort of my time in fishing. I don't know how often you fished, Ali. 3 times. There you go. One more than zero. Sorry, zero. So for me, I don't know the area at all, and I'm really looking forward to learning. You're also showing us a new discipline of fishing in the carp fishing side of things, which I can't wait to see.
Yeah.
And we also said that tomorrow we're going to film a bit of the carp fishing side of things, and then if Charles has us again in a few weeks or months time or whatever, we're going to bring that film into the next live stream show, and Charles just going to do a full live stream on carp fishing, which will be amazing. So let's talk Shelly Beach, and what do you look for in the weather systems and the current water temperature leading up to a fish at Shelly Beach. Let's talk over the next sort of month or so of the season.
If we look at Shelly Beach over the next month or so, you know what? You're coming out of winter, so you're coming out of cold water. Of course, your tuna likes the cold water, very active in the cold water. We see them down the Cape, everywhere else, but not a lot of pelagic species. So coming into summer now, you're going to see all your pelagics like your kuta, wahoo, dorado, all that kind of stuff are going to start coming in. The water is getting warmer. You're going to get your sailfish, your marlin. Although we did catch a few marlin this year in the colder water. So they are there, but not as prolific as they would be in hotter water, or warmer water, where you've got a lot of bait fish as well. So looking this year, or coming now, and the next month, you're going to be targeting tuna. A lot of tuna around, some big tuna. There's some bombers. You'll be looking at yellowtail. A lot of yellowtail out there there's quite a few bricks around, which I'll show you guys tomorrow. Definitely amberjack. We got some amberjack on Monday. And then whatever else is a bargain, So
Sure, 100%.
So the major thing when you do run out there, guys, is just you are going to be catching tuna. That's for sure.
Sure.
You'll get some bonnies always,
Some
and then
wahoo around as well.
some wahoo around, but not as prolific as it should be right now, or as it could be. And but prepare yourself for tuna, and then, like I say, some yellowtail and some amberjacks.
What sort of weather do you look for? We were chatting about it earlier, leading up to a fish. What is your kind of ideal winds in that you want leading up to a fish, looking at water temperature as well, and then your current?
Okay, so let's the ideal situation: north-south current with a light southwest.
Okay.
What that does is your current's not too strong, so it runs north-south. The southwest comes in, holds your boat in that current. That allows you to get your lines down, allows you to get to the bottom. Bring that 3 or 4 meters up, so you get into the target zone for amberjack, you get into your target zone for yellowtail, and you can fish on the surface, especially for us that fish kites as well. You can fish the other side of the boat, which of course makes your opportunity and the area that you're fishing so much bigger.
Sure.
It's just a massive outrigger. You put out there, you're fishing an extra 200-300 meters, which is why it's such a great advantage.
Sure. Now, on the carp fishing side, guys, like we said, tomorrow we'll do 1 or 2 live stream inserts as well with regards to the carp fishing, which I think is going to be incredible.
No, I'm very excited.
Yeah, myself.
I can just see that jet ski with the cart tied to it.
I know. Exactly. I
Probably get struck by lightning.
I went to Scotland about 2 weeks ago and bought my 3-year-old a unicorn cart, because I can check that thing at background on the unicorn cart with a little sardine put it there operating. But no, we can't wait for that tomorrow. It's going to open a whole new facet, I think, of angling for offshore anglers, and especially having Charles showing us how to do it. I think it's going to be awesome. So, Charles, on the actual day, we get down to the launch site. For tomorrow? Let's talk about tomorrow. What is the plan? What's the game plan? And
Okay, let's run for the game plan. The game plan tomorrow, guys, is we're going to get the launch site. Obviously, we already know what the wind's going to do. we know what the weather, we know it's going to be overcast, we know there's going to be a bit of rain, everything around. So there's a bit of a swell, about 1.82 meter swell. Very short, 7-8 second break. But the first thing we'll do once we've launched, we'll get out straight to our bait spots. We want live bait. I mean, you're not going to beat live bait, guys. We fish circle hooks. Live bait still just the best bait. Any fish, you get a livey down there, it's going to be eaten. Okay, so we'll get down to the bait spots, load our liveys, and from there we'll go and work. First thing, there's an area which we call North of North. That's the northern Protea banks. It's a pinnacle that comes up, and we've got an area, it's about 200-300 meters north of that pinnacle where we start our drift. So we'll start a drift there, liveys out on the surface, 2 liveys down on 4-ounce sinkers, and obviously going for tuna. We want the early bite. The tuna is an early bite out here, and it's some big tuna.
Lovely.
We'll put them out, and then we'll start rigging the kite rods on the back, so we can also cover the back side of it. If we do not get live bait, you always got to go for a backup plan. So that's why we will have tuna. We'll have all our sardines. So we'll stick to or move to something like chunking. We'll do more jigging, more bucktails, normal jigs, things like that.
Sure.
Pull a few lures. I'll show you guys a bit later. All on circle hooks, also rigged up with a bit of squid.
Sure.
I'll show you that. And what we also like to do is, even if we do have live bait and we run from Northern Pinnacle up to Diepgat, which is about a 2 kilometer run from where we are, we'll put the lures out. You never know what's out there. A lot of sailfish, a lot of dorado, whatever. So we'll have the lures out and see what happens.
Cool.
And so we'll move up to Diepgat. From Diepgat, that's where we're really going to target the big yellowtail. There's a lot of big yellowtail around.
Synonymous, the Diepgat's always synonymous with that. Yeah.
Now, it's just south of Diepgat. There's a few marks there. We found a few extra marks the last few weeks. Some big yellowtail, big amberjack. Then we will do that drift all the way down to a place called House of Pain.
Okay.
It's called House of Pain for a reason.
Okay.
Love
So-
that, Mark.
Okay, so that's where the boys that normally go out and jig. It's called House of Pain. You're jigging
Okay.
at 70 meters, and when it takes you. It's 20, 30. These
Yeah.
big amberjacks. I mean, PJ Botha and them won the Shelley Beach ski boat comp a few years ago with I can't remember the size, but it was 30 odd kilos.
First,
So
I just
it's a-
want
it's
to
a
ask you,
big fish.
while we're on the subject of House of Pain, just looking at Ellie's drink here. We got half a salad in here. I think it's maybe salad from his dinner, and so definitely a tinge of pink in there as well. Do you reckon Ellie's going to handle that House of Pain tomorrow, looking at what he's drinking tonight?
You know, if there's one
Proof's
thing
in
you
the
don't
pudding,
do on
the
me, Steph, is
proof
don't
is
lose your
in the
fish. So
pudding.
I don't care about his last night's salad. You better just hold on to his fish.
No, that's awesome. Let's talk. Let's go into sort of your live baiting. You start off with live baiting first. Let's go into one or two of your live baiting rigs here, Charles.
Okay, just to, you know what, I'll grab my rod and just show you guys how we do it.
You need some help there.
Let's grab this.
Yeah.
Take it off. I'm a light tackle guy. Okay, I've got my sets of colors in light tackle bullfish to be exact, and it's all 10 kilo tackle. I like a fast retrieval reel, so I use the Accurate Boss.
Okay.
Beautiful reel, 6.3 or 6.5 retrieval ratio.
Yeah.
The reason for that is, you know, when sailfish start jumping and they're coming at you, you want to have that line in as quick as possible.
Sure.
But yeah, that's not our targeted species tomorrow, so let's just have a look. Now, what I'll do is you'll see it's a pink fluorocarbon,
The moi moi.
Moi, yeah.
okay? So, the reason I use the pink, I don't know if a lot of you people know, but red and pink's the first color to disappear in the water column.
Okay.
Okay, so they become fluorocarbon as it is, already difficult for the fish to see. And you put pink down there, it goes down 2 meters, 3 meters, and it disappears completely.
I've started using that
Right,
in backtailing.
yeah,
The
it
hit
works.
up ratio. unbelievable.
It's amazing. Yeah?
Exactly,
What
and
went on is-
It's amazing, you know, and you'll see what we've got here is I've got a 10 kilo rig, 1 meter.
just I
1
mean
meter
that,
trace.
that little loop you've got on there. What is?
That's a loop. I'll show you guys tomorrow how to make it. Okay, it's a very, very easy, very simple
We'll check that
knot.
catalog if you-
Okay, so very simple knot, very easy to rig up. So you can change your hooks many times you want to. Every fish I caught, after I've caught the fish, I change the little leader, little hook,
Okay,
because you don't want to get a nip in there and then
sure,
it's
sure.
gone. When we do get fish that's a lot more shy to bite, sometimes in the competitions they tend to just get lockjaw. I'll put a small little swivel here and I'll tie this straight onto the swivel. So you want it as light as possible. I'll even drop my leader to a 20 pound, 25, 30 pound leader, just to have your bait as natural as possible.
Sure.
But that, guys, that's
What leader are you fishing there? What
Typical.
pound leader are you fishing there?
the leader here is 50 pound.
That's 50 pound.
That's a 50 pound there.
And size hook? I see you got a circle hook here.
That circle hook's a size 80. Okay, it's what I'm using. I use Trocar or Eagle Claw. I like them. They're nice, sharp. They're strong hooks. It's just a personal preference, guys. It's the size that matters. I knew she was going to laugh. I don't know why, but hey,
Times in my life before.
I don't care what people say. Size does matter. Okay, so that's a typical live bait rig. So and then what we'll do
Just
from
one
here.
thing I'm noticing there, I mean, we fish a lot smaller hooks. I know the tuna are quite a bit smaller.
I'm a 6'0" demon fine.
Yeah. I mean,
The reason why you guys would fish smaller hooks is because you want it, or if you fish it on chunks, you want that into a chunk. You want it to sit in the chunk
okay, all right.
and be gone. If you take a mackerel this size, and try and hook up or rig it up with a 6-0, you're not really going to have, you know, the chances for you hooking up on a big
Sure,
bait
Sure.
is very difficult. Where with this, what we do is we get a little elastic, move the elastic through the back, hook it through, come back on its side, and it sits like that.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
That's
So-
a tuna.
That's
That's
what
a
you
tuna.
That's what you know,
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Or sometimes we'll just hook it straight through the nose, sits like that, all right? Or sometimes through the mouth, and it sits proud like that. Now, if your circle hook's too small, you're not really going to get that
Sure.
hook up. You all know how a circle hook works, goes in, pulls the corner of the mouth, and that's where it sits.
Sure.
If the hook's too small, it'll just pull out.
And Charles, when do you decide when to use those different hookups
Well,
on the
You know,
baits?
it all depends where you swim it. I'll show you guys this now. If you, like, for me personally, when we put bait down with a little weight, we prefer to hook it through the back. Okay, the fish just
Through
swims.
the back where you talking about?
That's it.
Where,
Well, right on the little dorsal fin. You
Okay,
got little
right,
dorsal
okay.
fin just under the dorsal.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Put it through there and let it swim, and it'll be on the weight, and because then it makes a lot of commotion.
Okay, all right.
And of course, the more vibrations in there, the quicker the fish gets to it.
Sure.
When I fish it out without any weight, and I just want it on the surface, without a balloon or without any marker out there, I hook it either through the nose or through the mouth,
Okay.
because then it sits in the current, and it sits nice and easy, and it's right on the surface.
Okay.
The problem then, the thing is, if you hook it on the through the back, it'll just start flapping on top.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
eventually,
If you hook it through the mouth, exactly. So you want it to be alive, you want it to swim, and it works well. If
If the elastic one?
The elastic we use during the kites.
Okay, all right.
When we're on the kite, goes on the elastic. The reason for that is it sits nice on top, and that fish you just want that fish to be in the water.
Sure. Can't wait to see that.
That's,
That's I'm not going to ask questions.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Don't even talk to me. I want to hear from you. Not a word.
So
We had old Mr. Chris Rothman on the boat last year with I believe it was the Pumalanga team.
yeah.
Okay.
during
And
the
they
junior
were-
nationals.
And they just were fascinated with this kite idea. Didn't think anything was going to happen. And we got the one tuna after the other, and the fish was flying. And Chris can't believe it. This kite's getting all this fish, and there we go fast on a marlin.
That's it.
Unfortunately, well, size marlin, I reckon it was about 110 kilos. But
Sure.
It's fat. And scuffed off on the leader.
The leader.
Got tail wrapped as it turned just at the back of the boat.
Oh
Unfortunately.
my word.
And the poor
Lost the
junior
marlin.
came that close
Yeah,
from actually
shut
getting
it.
the marlin, because you know in ball fishing, you
Yeah.
get it
Yes.
in,
Yeah.
you tip it, it's caught.
Yeah,
I'm not lying to you, we looked at the video footage that close.
Yes.
unbelievable.
So,
Charles,
Sad side, but
on those, on those live baiting rigs, I see you use those clips. Now, for me, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, and that's why we're here to learn. Those clips for me, I always think that never use those clips, because there's, you're just adding another weak point to your line and they open. And I've had 1 or 2 clips open on me with bigger fish, and I just think, bugger this, I'm not even going. I see you use the clips on the live bait rigs, whatever.
okay, those clips are 70-pound clips, guys. Your line is 10 pounds, or 10 kilos, 20 pounds.
What's going to
Okay,
break it?
what's going to break first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so they won't open. They won't open if you make sure you buy decent clips, guys. Take a few bucks extra, spend a few bucks extra. Kingfisher makes a nice one. It's stiff, it's strong, it doesn't open up.
and also
I
remember
mean-
your drag settings. Sorry, Charles. But your drag
What's-
settings it's very difficult to
It's 3
fish
kilo.
big tuna on a grinder with those clips, because you won't necessarily get your drag setting 100%.
You don't know where,
Yeah,
sure.
you know, so you might just go over a little bit and snap your line or put pressure on your clip. But we've never had a clip pull
No.
on center for that
So,
line.
and you'll find it's 3. I mean, the drag setting on that's 3 kilos. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So
Your
and
fish
yeah,
is
I
gonna
can
run
hang
long.
that.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
hang that 3 kilogram weight on that clip all the time. Swing it, whatever. It won't open it up.
Sure.
A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people, but like I said, it's personal preference. Okay. We're social fishing out there. It's easy to take it off, replace it. Like I said, sometimes when we're in there, that's why I mentioned it earlier on. When we're in big competitions, you really do want that extra 1 or 2 fish. You go down to a small swivel. The big thing, you want a swivel in there so you don't get a twist in the line.
Sure.
Okay. You have a bait that's not swimming right, or something that's not swimming right, it's going to twist your line, and that's your day done.
Sure.
Unless you have 2 or 3 or 4 extra reels on the boat. A lot of people do not. A lot of people fish off jet skis. A lot of people only come down with 1 or 2 rods. That's it, done. Your day's done. So if it's for social fishing and everybody that comes down here to fish, guys, put a little snap swivel.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine.
Makes it easy,
Nowadays you get a little pigtails, they call them pigtails, they're even better than a snap swivel. That pigtail, wrap it in the pigtail, so much better.
Yeah.
If you worry that it's going to open, use a pigtail.
Okay, all right.
Okay, there's a lot of people, they'll tell you, no, but the wahoo will bite it, or another fish will come in and bite it.
The luck of the
How many times it happened to me? Once,
Yeah,
out of how many years? So,
sure. Talking about competitions, Faith, I think you've got a nice, funny story that you'd like to share with all of us.
Where do I start? Which one? There's so many. Oh, goodness. No, Mr. Duplessis and our winning fish. One of my and it would have been one of my greatest gold medals, but it turned out that
Rub it in. Oh,
it turned out that I was actually very wrong. My last gold medal was my proudest. Still have our selfie swimming in.
you might as well tell them, it's okay, we all do it. I know.
Our gold medal because Mr. Duplessis' leader was too long by I think 25 centimeters.
Oh,
You know what was the best? The little junior that was in the Natal team, because then we were still fishing for Natal. And the little junior that Natal, during the end year function, he comes to me and says, we beat you by that much. So yeah, what's the first thing I got when I got back the club? Everybody gives me a measuring tape. Guys, we do make mistakes,
Yeah,
and
it happens to everyone.
well,
Happens to everyone.
let's talk funny here.
I want to hear
Come
the
on,
other
let's
side.
hear another one.
Yeah.
We were on with at first we thought it was a nice big tuna, and then that old Johnny,
Little
Yeah,
dollar dog.
okay.
Yeah.
So fighting the shark, big bronzy coming
Try
in,
to
coming
break
in,
the
coming
line
in.
on 10 kilograms, doesn't break.
Doesn't break. Come in. Eventually got the shark next to the boat, and Faith's got a little cutter, little line cutters,
Yeah, yeah.
yellow ones that you hang around.
Yeah.
But I've done it already 3 times that day.
Yeah.
So.
So, the sharks they were on a roll, man. I'm telling you. So as he bends over, and I'm standing on this was on port side of the boat. I'm standing around watching now, so I'm pulling back. I've got the slag in the line with the drag down. She bends over, she grabs the line, cuts, but unfortunately hooks the swivel, and the shark goes down, and she bends forward to try and get the. And you just see the tail come out. I look at her, I still say, hier het jou hard geklap. She just went,
Passed out.
done, finished. So now we got this boat boy, August. So he's running around triple toe, so but I got him into the recovery position. I was an ops medic in the army, so got him into the recovery position. August bring us some cold water, and he's like, his eyes this big, so he's got the cold water lappy.
Knocked out cold.
Wake her up, knocked out. Sugar ray.
But waking up there and the last, I saw photos and stuff. These boys would take.
I need to see some of those.
Yeah.
Borrow
The
that.
last thing I remember.
Have a good giggle.
I just saw that, that's the last thing I remember. And I woke up there and
She looks at me, she
he
says,
can't keep his laughing.
wait a minute.
I just see his stars.
That's where, a
Never-
GoPro, 1 million each, but
Tomorrow I'm strapping one to your head.
Yeah, 100%. We're going to give you one of those MMA helmets like that. Charles, take us through a couple of these delicious little things you got on the table.
okay.
And how
Now
you use
I'm
them.
going to start off with the skipper's choice. Okay. This is a little Kona, as most people call it. You know why they call them Konas, no? The first artificial lures to be pulled for marlin was pulled in the island of Kona,
Kona,
Hawaii.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
That's
okay.
why most
Hawaii.
people refer to them as Konas. So the
Okay,
first little lures were called Konas there. Well, not little lures, they were all big.
Yeah.
For chasing marlin, and that's why. So it's, even today, even if the different makes, like there's a black bar, people still refer to them as Konas.
Kona, 100%.
Anybody speaks about a Kona, we all know what it is.
Like a plastic
Okay?
Rapala.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So this is her choice. Beautiful little lure. Okay.
Deadly.
Run it 7-8 knots, no problem.
How far and where?
Port side, short out.
The
That's
skipper.
why I prefer it.
Okay. So now we all have our favorite positions, but of course it depends on your boat.
Yes.
Okay. The
Yeah.
size of your boat, how
And the
high your
motors.
outriggers sit.
Mm.
What size motors you have? Are they counter rotation? Are they not? Where's the bubble trail? Where's the
Where's your
clean
exhaust
spots?
fumes?
There's a whole lot of things you need to look at when you
Sure.
put out a lure. It's not just pushing a lure out, putting a lure out there and hope it's going to bite.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is I hook single hook rigs.
You're going to learn a hell of a lot tomorrow.
Okay, the reason
You can tell you I'm going back to school tomorrow, bro.
so single hook rigs, it's safer for the fish and safer for yourself. You get a chain gang on there. I know a lot of people fish chain gangs. Yes, you get a better hookup ratio, but you try and get that hook. You get a marlin on there. You try and get that hook out of the fish's mouth. That extra swinging, loose swinging hook into your hand. But either you got to hold on to that marlin
Yeah.
and hope you never let go.
No
Or
chance. Yeah.
we've seen guys really serious, just rips through you. So for me, plus conservationists, you don't want to hurt the fish that much. So
Sure.
single hook rig, you get a hook out. That's a nice one, Mustad, 8-0.
Looking good at that. Black part lure there.
And that'll catch you dorado, it'll catch you tuna, it'll catch a lot of pelagics. Now we normally, when we run long distances, we make use of that, guys. Don't just run from one spot to another. That's a lot of area that you're covering. There's a lot of fish around there. Okay? Your pelagics travel, they're not in one spot, they're not like amberjacks and things like that will go and sit and congregate around an area. These guys will move up and down the shoal. But they'll cover areas. You get out there, make use of that. You will pick up fish.
So
Okay.
just talking quickly on that there, a person who's got a stock standard ski boat, not the outriggers and all this sort of thing, your everyday sort of Joe blogs, where would he be running that and how quick would he run it?
What you would do with that, you'll have, normally you all have either little rod holders that I know a lot of guys like sitting them
Sure.
out.
Sure.
Just put it down there, run it out about 10, 15
Just
meters behind the
outside the
boat,
wake.
just outside
Outside
the
the
wake.
wake, okay. All right.
Now the wake is your biggest teaser, you know
Yeah,
that,
Sure,
because the foam comes up, it looks like a bait ball from the bottom.
sure.
Your other fish come in, they're going to hit that. You have this swimming just on the outside. Your bigger pelagics, they chase that. The reason for that is because they think that fish's attention is on the small little fish, so it's going to go for the loner. It's going to eat it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
About
So-
5 knots.
Five
knots,
knots.
eh?
Five
That's
to 6 knots.
Okay.
That's
Depending obviously on what the
Have a look at
surface
it.
conditions of the oceans are.
It's
Okay.
plus your current. Sometimes you have a heavy current, and it's going to start jumping. If it jump, guys, you don't want it to jump. You just want it to be
Adjust
in
your
there.
speed.
Okay.
Just adjust
Or
your speed.
adjust your trim.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Then these are my favorites. Okay.
That is. I was looking at that earlier.
Okay.
That is.
Now it depends on if I have sun out there, if it's not a cloudy day and it's a nice sunny day, this is my favorite lure. Okay. Now if you look at the rig, you see it's a circular rig. Okay.
See that?
The bottom I've got a little spring. This is, by the way, my own.
Your own invention there.
That's it there.
Sure.
So what I do with the spring is I'll take my choker, I'll cut myself a nice little strip, or belly shine sometimes out of bonnie or whatever, and you just twist it in there. And it hangs down there, so you'll have it hanging down there,
Oh, it works.
and that's it there. And when you pull this, where's my rod? I'll show you what. You'll see on the
Almost
rod I
free
have,
spool, completely free spool your.
completely, just have your clicker on. Oh, it's not on this rod. But you get it's a little release clip
Yeah.
that you put on there. If you don't have a release clip, use a small elastic. Just wrap it around the line, put the elastic over the eye or over the reel handle or whatever, and let it swim. The fish is going to come, it's going to take it, it's going to break the elastic, it's going to run, give it time, and just come slowly up on your drag. Guys, you're
You
fast.
know, I fished the world champs
That's
in
amazing,
Costa
yeah.
Rica,
Jeez.
and that's why we caught the Adi.
That-
Is because that's exactly how they fish. They actually use the outrigger snap clips.
That's it.
They tie all on the back of the boat.
That's it.
They take a coffee grinder, free spool, open
Free spool,
loop,
yeah.
and then they take that and put it in the clip.
That's it.
And you know, you're sitting on the boat and it's boom, and you've got to run, pick up rod, free
That's
spool, because obviously that bullfish
That's it,
particular comes
exactly.
and hits it. And then
That's
while it's sinking, the boat carries on.
That's it.
You've got to free spool it and it'll
That's
come back and eat it. Now, I'll tell you what, it took us 3 days to figure that out. I've got a good idea of what you're talking about. But on the 4th day, we caught them. Costa Rica was 15 strikes a day. And you know, you're on 45 strikes and you're still figuring out how you catch it.
Around 2 days earlier, cause But just if you could just hand me that lure there, please, quickly. Have you got one rigged up there already?
I've got, let me show. That's just what I'll do is just show you more or less.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
Go up there. Piece of squid. Okay.
Chop a strip,
Nicely out. A little spring. Just twist it in.
Now, guys, don't worry if you can't see this at the moment tonight. We'll definitely, oh my goodness, Jesus
Charles.
Christ. If Charles would be so kind, we will definitely show this tomorrow on one or two of the pro tips, because this is gold.
To twist it all the way up. I'm just going to leave it like that. So normally I would just trim it down, and that's a perfect little bait there. Now the reason you want to do that, guys, you get the fish come in, it's going to hit it, it's going to taste it, it's going to come back for it. Okay.
Okay.
So if it misses the first time and you really want it to swallow it, so you want bait in there, so it's going to bring it down. It's going to.
I've never
Swallow
seen
it.
that hook above the front.
Oh,
That's
So
how you do it.
that's
That's how you
the
make the
next
How
thing.
did you get to
Yeah.
that plan about putting the hook before the actual
Well,
focal point, which is usually the Kona's?
No.
Yeah. Most
Okay.
of the
Now
hooks are
that
here.
yes. Now we all know circle hooks. It's got to be proud. Your Ikfaru is that you're not allowed to be more than one hook's length away from it. Okay, so if you look at it there, it's within a hook's length. Okay, so you put it up there, the fish will come in, it will swallow. Remember, this is not setting the hook like a J hook.
Yeah.
It's going to swallow, and then when you start pulling up, it's going to pull it out of its stomach, and your hook is going to set. Okay, if you had this hook in the back there, the head will be in the way and the hook won't set.
Ah, okay. All right.
So you
okay.
want the hook to be in front, so when you pull it out of the stomach, look what happens, comes out, and
So
that's
the
where
hook
the hook,
sets before
so the hook sets before. Okay,
Okay.
guys, it's going to smell like chocolate, sorry.
Smells amazing.
Okay, so those are, like I said, so this is for the sunny days.
And how have you just
Tomorrow will be,
on that rig? Sorry, Charles. How have you rigged that? You've got a piece of Dacron I see above, just on the.
okay, so what I do is, okay, so you'll see, I've got my little spring there which I make up.
Yeah.
Then I'll pull the Dacron through and I'll put a piece of hard tubing. So you'll see whether it's
Is it shrink wrap or?
yeah, whether it's shrink wrap. This one is shrink wrap.
Yeah.
There you can see that. That's
Yeah.
a hard shrink wrap. Or whether it's this, you know these little liners you put into your konas, and
Yes.
you buy them everywhere. Any tackle shop you can get them. That's what I use there. Or if you don't have anything else, guys, the best thing to use is these lollipops with the plastic handles.
Yeah,
those
yeah,
little
yeah,
tubes.
yeah.
They work perfect. You put
Okay.
that in there, hook it up there, pull it out, and that's it. So you can make up. You don't have to put a circle hook in every one of them. I just
Yeah.
put it in so that I can show you guys.
That's incredible.
But you can have it out, okay? And you just make up 50 or 60 or 100 of these lures. Have your one circle hook. Come in, that's your Dacron there. Set it in the Dacron. And you're ready to go. Okay. Always finish your Dacron off on the bit there, just with a bit of, just a lighter, just to seal it properly. Otherwise you'll lose your lure. But this is also a sure way to get your lure back.
Sure, amazing. That is
I've
incredible.
never seen that in my
yeah.
life before.
You know.
Right now.
You know, that's incredible.
Very, very clever.
Sure.
Well thought.
So where are you running those in the spread, Charles? Where?
Now, this like I say, you know, let's take the small little Phantom here. This is a very light lure. It's going to be light, so it depends on your wind conditions. If you have no wind, you can run your lures out far, no problem. If you have some wind, you want to run the lighter lures close and your heavier lures far, because then your heavier lures will track straight, and the lighter lures, of course, because they're closer by the boat, they'll track easier.
Playing around in the wake. But
If it's a wind, you know, if there's no strong winds, then I like to run the heavier lures closer and the lighter lures further off. The big reason for that is because, you know, when that fish comes in, and also I prefer running my darker lures close. The reason because you've got a bigger bubble noise close to the boat, so
Sure.
the darker lures are easier for the fish to see close to the boat within all that bubble mass,
Sure.
whereas the lighter lures are easier for them to see further out.
Okay.
Okay, that is the way I pull lures. A lot of people will tell you, no, it's because it's light, or, you know, cloudy days you pull dark lures.
Sure,
And
sure.
guys, it hasn't been proven. It's a personal preference, but if I have to look at science, you know, if I put a dark lure in a place that's a lot of full white bubbles, I'll see the dark lure. If I put a white lure amongst white bubbles, it's going to be difficult to see
Sure,
it.
sure.
Okay, so, and if you look at, even Black Bart and all those boys will tell you the same thing. But it's never been proven, so it's like with any fishing story, there's a fishing story.
Yeah, 100%.
If it works, it works.
Yeah.
If you drive over the line, you cut the line,
All done it
it's
again.
one of those things.
Yeah.
I like to fish a lot of soft lures as well. Okay, the softies just tend to get eaten better, especially on the circle hooks. There's nothing hard in it. It's very similar to a fishes or a little half beak or sardine or whatever it is. Very similar to that bolt. Very similar to the biological makeup of it. And those are just little subtle differences that at the end of the day will make you win a competition or lose a competition.
Sure.
If you're fishing social, guys, the 1 or 2 fish extra you are going to catch with because you used the soft lure instead of hard lure is not going to make a difference on your day.
Sure. Charles, when you're putting let's talk about a general spread for a guy that's coming down to Shelly Beach, who's sort of a social angler. What would you suggest for him to be a general spread for him to be pulling around this time of year?
I would pull 4 lures. Okay, 2 of them will be Rappies. Rapala's close by. One is what everybody calls a camel toe. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's got pink in it or something. It's my daughter told me that.
Split in between the motors.
Hey, this is a family show.
This is between the motors. Cameron's done. Our cameraman is.
Okay,
We'll find out more about that tomorrow.
But they work well, you know. Whether it's the Holkers, little rattlers work well as well.
Okay.
Then sometimes, so what I'll do is I'll put a little Holko, the camel toe out, and I'll put it deep.
What color is this camel toe? Pink.
Guys,
how many ounces is it got?
Yes, it's pink. I'm not lying.
After half an hour. After half an hour of trawling it, it's blue.
After a couple of hits.
Okay.
Looking at the chaps online here,
All right.
I think there's a couple of eggs that are wetting themselves.
Couple of bus stops, I think, complete. But
Okay.
anyway, so guys, let's just get ourselves a beer.
Okay, so you'll pull the Holko.
Okay, alright.
Okay.
Right.
With the smaller lip, something that dives about a meter and a half.
Okay, right.
2
So
meters.
160
and
DD, 2 meter.
There we go.
Okay.
And then a deep diver you want on the other side, something that's going to run 4, 5, 6 meters. Okay, and then on the surface behind them, I'll draw this.
Okay.
Something similar to it, anything like it, guys. Anything with color, anything flashy, it's good. You can even go dead bait, you can go half beak, you can go, and then of course on the other side I'll pull this. So I'll pull 4 lures.
Okay.
If I want to troll around, I'll pull 4 lures, and that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. Any social fishing, even competitions, especially for the guys coming down.
So you'll put, let's say the Hulker, how far are you putting that shallow diver, how far are you putting that off the, let's say you put it off the port side, how far?
Maybe about 10 meters.
And the deep diver? Off
The deep diver, I'll put a little bit further. You want it to go down a bit more, maybe 15, 20 meters, guys.
And
You
then
don't
you'll-
want to go too far.
And then your little coners? No?
They will swim about 5 meters behind them.
Okay, right, behind that.
That's
good,
it. And
okay.
you always scatter them a bit. You don't want something that swims in a pattern.
Okay.
Because the fish are not going to take stuff that's in a pattern. They're always looking for the odd one out. Remember, any pelagic or any predatory fish will go for the odd one out.
Okay.
That's why you'll find a lot of people only pull free lures when they're fishing marlin. And
Okay.
they'll stagger them because
Okay.
that's the odd one out.
All right.
Okay. You get a lot of people who put a nice V out there and then don't catch a fish for the
Yeah.
whole day. And some
Yeah.
guy comes in, he puts one there, and
Yeah.
he gets on just because it's different and
Yeah,
your-
very
your-
interesting.
they will come out. You know, when we pull, we also pull a lot of things like dredges and things like that. But that's you know, if you're going to come down here and you're going to start pulling dredges stuff, that's when you start fishing competition.
Sure.
You
sure.
really want to raise a lot of fish, and
Sure.
it's a different discussion.
Yeah,
Let's put it
100%.
that way.
100%. We definitely don't have enough time for all of
No.
that. But finally, any other tips to guys fishing Shelly for the first time?
Guys, fishing Shelly for the first time, come down here, come into the club. We've got great members there. They will help you guys, okay? I myself, I do a lot of tackle boxes, Faith. We've got Mark Brewitt. He will go out of his way to help you guys. We've got Sean. We got PJ. We got Peter Boerenstein.
Sure.
All these guys, they're willing to help. They will not turn their backs on you. Coming to the club, sit at the bar. You will always see us there. Sometimes might not be a good time, depends on how many Jägermeister's been flowing. Okay,
Might
because
be
you'll
the
get
best
a you'll get a whole lot more help than what you want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yes, that's what I would do. Come down, speak to the people. You need to know what the conditions are going to be out there. You need to know whether there's live bait. You need to know have you got a north-south current, have you got a reverse current, because that just changes things. Your
Sure.
upwellings change, your bait
Wind,
change, the
fish
patterns
wind,
change.
cost traffic,
Exactly.
yeah.
So, but you're going to come down in December. You're coming down this time of the year, guys. Focus on tuna. Focus on your yellowtail, amberjack, things like that.
Yeah.
They're wild. There's a lot of live bait out there. Get the live bait, guys. A lot of people run out there and they don't want to put liveys on. They want to go and put chunks. Yes, maybe you'll catch a few what we call charter tunas, little tunas like that.
Yeah, yeah,
But that's not why you come down here for. You come down here to catch something big, something
Sure.
decent.
sure.
You want to put something on the braai that's briable.
Substantial, yeah,
There we
100%.
go. So,
Yeah. What are you, just quickly on bait, where are you fishing for your bait generally? Where the guys sort of
we've got a few marks where we go.
Right
We'll,
off
we'll
here.
just-
Right off here, just down here.
just off 20. There's these.
Okay.
I used to have a flat over there. There's a block of flats.
Okay,
It's stand up. Well, actually, it's just down here.
That's what I said.
And you got the shark nets there,
okay,
and right by the shark nets, there's an area there where we fish a lot.
okay.
And then also in front of Port Shepstone, the bridge, just
Also
off the
there's
bridge,
some
there's
good
some
garlic.
rocks on the side. It's called Sharkers Rock. In front of it, on about 20 meters of water,
Okay,
a lot of bait out there. And then that 20-meter mark, or that 20-meter dip, all the way up
sure.
to 20 bricks.
Well, guys, look, with regards to fishing new areas, it always talks back to the old adage of making sure you get to your spot 1 or 2 days before and chatting to the locals. Shelly Beach has just revamped their club. It's looking incredible. I've seen photos. We're definitely going to be testing that out over the next couple of days. Maybe 1 or 2 encouragements in there tomorrow. After the
I'll bring
fish.
you a camel too.
100%. I'm all in. So we'll just, I've totally gone blank. But no, so guys, make sure, the Oaks at Shelly Beach, we've got to know them over the last couple of years from having our Pamula comp here. Really just a good bunch of guys, solid bunch of people down here. And like Charles is saying, just always willing to lend some info and helping you to get into fishing. That's what these shows and what we're doing is all about. So, Ellie, I don't know if there's any questions or anything like that?
No, I must say I'm going to be an open book tomorrow. It's really going to
Myself.
be exciting to see a completely different area, as well as fishing with 2 people that know what they're doing.
100%.
And it's complete. Everything you've showed me, I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Kite fishing, never heard of it before.
Yeah.
You see that on YouTube, you watch it overseas.
Yeah, exactly.
So guys, stay tuned tomorrow. It's going to be exciting.
And we'll be, as long as Charles doesn't mind, we'll be putting some pictures and whatnot up of what we're fishing with and how Charles has rigged some of these things. There's just so much from what I can just see on this table, let alone what we're going to learn tomorrow. It's going to be mind-blowing. So getting on to that now, we've got to announce our prize winners. So bear with me as we try work through this, but we had a lot of entries that came in here. And we're going to go on to, I've got a little random generator here that picks a number, and we've got a little random number here, 1, 2, number of guys that, okay, so we're going to get a random number here for the guy that's going to be, or girl that's going to be joining us tomorrow. That is number 8, Nikki Thoresen. Nikki, you will be joining us on the boat tomorrow morning with the crew here and us 2 palookas as we watch on and get educated by these 2 tomorrow. We cannot wait. So it's Nikki Thoresen. I'll be giving you a shout just after the show to make sure that everything is in order and you can get down here on time, because we're going to be launching at
5.
5 we're going to be launching. So you need to make sure that you're down here at Shelly Beach just before launch at about 4:30. But we'll get hold of you for that one. Guys, massive thank you again to all our sponsors for making this happen. You'll see them in all the videos and whatnot, but a huge thank you to them. Just 1 or 2 shout outs quickly. We've got some of the jig para jigs here from Major Craft that we're going to be using this weekend. These are specialized slow pitch jigging jigs that we're going to be using and putting down for hopefully 1 or 2 ambers or yellowtail tomorrow. And we've got other little delicious looking listings here as well. So in the estuaries we'll be fishing some of the smaller patterns and profiles, and then we'll be fishing some of the bigger stuff for the ambers and that tomorrow. Hopefully we can get ourselves into 1 or 2 of those. But guys, a massive thank you to all of you for tuning in. Nikki, congratulations on winning that prize. We can't wait to meet you tomorrow. And guys, we'll be doing this continuously, involving you guys in the fishing that we're doing and getting you guys to join in. Tomorrow we're actually filming one of our series, our South Coast series, our Shelly Beach series here tomorrow that Nikki will be a part of. We'll continuously be doing that throughout the course of all our series, trying to involve you guys as much as possible. After all, this is for you. Guys, massive thank you for coming down tonight. Really appreciate it, man. Really appreciate it.
Can't wait till tomorrow. I must
Yeah.
say. Go to bed.
No. Yeah. Not. I need to go straight to bed immediately. Yokes need to pack up because if I get involved in this bar, it's going to be dangerous. But guys, no, thanks very much for just all the information you shared tonight and Faith. I really I'm looking forward to being on the boat tomorrow, and it's very seldom that you find a female angler that is as passionate. Just females in general that are that passionate about the sport that we love so much, you know. So it's humbling to be fishing with you tomorrow and to have you on the couch here. And I can't wait to share the day with you two tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Cheers from us. Thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week from Mtunzi Hotel. We're out.